All right.
Okay. You ready, Maggie?
Yes. Okay. Now I'll do it again. We are here live playing Sentinels of the Multiverse Definitive Edition. I'm Maggie Clayton. That's Christopher Badell. That's Chris Burton. They're going to be teaching all of us how to play Sentinels of the Multiverse Definitive Edition. I think I am the only one who has somewhat seen some of it, but Strash and Patrick have seen none of it. So let's dig in.
Do you want
Actually,
to introduce? Do you want to
yeah.
introduce everybody in the stream? You want to introduce everybody in the
No,
stream,
I want
Maggie?
everyone to introduce themselves. I'm Maggie Clayton. I'm the marketing and sales director for Greater Than Games. Patrick, who are you?
I'm Patrick Leader, the CEO of Leader Games.
Strash?
Christopher Burton.
Oh.
Okay, never mind. No, go.
No, it's fine. I'm Strash. I'm just a random person on the internet. I kid.
That's not true.
I'm
That's
a
not true.
streamer. I'm a game designer. I'm friends with at least Christopher. This is the first time I'm actually meeting the rest of the crew, and I am a huge fan of Sentinels of the Multiverse. All right.
I'm Chris Burton. I'm the game dev and also the person who Christopher is going to yell at extensively after this is all over.
Oh no! I don't yell. I'd say I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed.
Oh well. Yeah.
No.
Better, much better.
Yeah, right.
Christopher and I went to the same management school.
I'm Christopher Badell, and I am a guy that works on making superheroes that aren't real. Spoilers: all superheroes are made up. Okay, so with that said, this is a tabletop simulator view of Sentinels of the Multiverse. If you're watching on the YouTubes and listening to us here, the screen is unfortunately quite small. However, since Chris is the one controlling it, whenever Chris hovers over something and presses a key, he can make a card get bigger. So hover over like Baron Blade, for instance, Chris, and make it get bigger on the screen. I want to see how that looks on the YouTubes when you do that. I'll see whenever that catches up. It's got like a, oh, is it still turned sideways?
Yes.
Okay, pick something else and zoom it in so that we can see Legacy's character card big or something like that. So you'll be able to see things there. We'll also be describing what's happening. It's a bit tricky putting 5 people and a whole play area. Oh yeah, there's some zoom in cards.
That's good.
Yeah. So anyway, that is how that will go. But first things first, we got to pick what heroes we're going to be. Now, Patrick and Strauss, you've both played Sentinels: The Multiverse before.
Yeah.
Great.
A lot.
And Maggie, you've played it a bit.
Sentinels of the Multiverse, I've played quite a bit. Definitive Edition, I've played half of the game.
Oh, so nice.
There should be a caveat though that she's played Haka quite a bit.
Oh
It's
yeah,
true.
I love Haka.
Well, I'm not going to let you play Haka.
Oh,
I'm kidding. That's why Haka's in this thing, is so you can play it unless somebody else picks it first. Because the first thing and the most important thing that we have to do is acknowledge that yesterday was someone's birthday in this call. Isn't that true?
Oh,
It wasn't me.
It was 2 days ago.
Oh, was
on
it 2
St.
days
Patrick's
ago?
Day, on St.
Okay.
Patrick's Day.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
was
2
gonna
days
say, it
ago.
wasn't me.
2 days ago was your birthday, and so Patrick, happy birthday! Which hero would you like to play? You get first choice.
I want to play. Oh boy, how do I decide?
I don't know.
Raw. I'll play
You
Raw.
play Raw? Okay. Chris, how do we assign decks to people? Is that a thing, or is that a thing you do? Or they just...
Yeah. So
Just place it in front of you.
yeah, just put it in front of you.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And then as our other special honored guest, Strash, who do you want to play?
You know what? I'll go with an oldie but goodie, the problem solver, Tachyon.
Oh yeah, very nice, very nice. Okay, so yeah, just drag that deck and put it in front of you. It'll be great. Maggie, who do you want to play?
Haka.
You can't have Haka. I'm kidding. You can totally have
So
Haka.
mean. Don't touch him.
And Chris, who would you like to play?
You know, I'm feeling supporty, so I was going to take Legacy.
Okay,
Unless
sure.
you want Legacy.
Well, the only reason I was going to take Legacy is because I'm in the first player slot.
Fair.
But
In that case, I will take Wraith.
Great, awesome.
I was wondering if anyone else had a meta about player position and rules, but
The only reason I do is for
Apparently.
the purpose of teaching.
Sure.
Whenever I'm playing a teaching game, I like to play Legacies, so that way I am not stealing anybody's thunder.
doing the damage. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So I've got my character card and my character deck here set up by my name. And to start the game, we're going to shuffle your deck, which in this game, in the tabletop simulator, you hover over it and hit R. Yeah! Look at that, automatically shuffling. Delightful. Just for anybody who's watching, I am not currently paying attention to the chat, but I believe Maggie is.
Maggie is.
Right. So if you have questions in the chat, ask them by saying @games, and Maggie will respond to them. I might look into the chat later, but as long as I'm in teaching mode, I'll be focused on the human people in this live stream, not the robot people on the internet, because I assume anybody that is on the internet is a robot, unless I can see their face, in which case they're a very convincing robot. So, all right. So I've got my character card, and oh yes, thank you for whoever's. Patrick is fixing my HP for me. We've got these tiny little HP counters here. They're in the physical game of Sentinels: The Multiverse Definitive Edition. There are a set of beautiful HP spinners for each of the heroes and villain, each of the players and the villain player. So, but for tabletop simulator purposes, we have these adorable ones brought to us by Patrick Leader himself. So we will be playing against the villain Baron Blade, mad scientist who has his Terralunar Impulsion Beam and is going to try to pull the moon into the Earth. We'll be playing in the environment Insula Primalis, which I thought was going to be Megalopolis, but it is not. It's Insula Primalis, so that is great. And then we've got these various heroes here. So to start, everybody, after you shuffle your deck, draw a hand of 4 cards, which I think you just drag a...
You can hover over your deck and hit 4.
Oh, 4.
And then remove the cursor from it, and they'll draw them. Yeah.
Amazing.
And art a shuffle.
Oh, very nice.
So you don't have to have your.
Okay, so I can see everybody's hands. Not that that matters.
Yeah.
That's intentional.
Okay. Great. So everybody has their starting cards. In Sentinels: The Multiverse, I'm going to teach it like you've never played before because there's parts of it that are new and different. In Sentinels: The Multiverse, we play as a group of heroes fighting against a dangerous villain in a dynamic environment. Nobody plays as the villain of the environment. Those run themselves. There's some words on cards, and we'll follow the instructions on those cards. And on each of our turns, we'll do some actions that we do as heroes. A turn is made up of 5 phases, formerly 3 phases in regular edition of Sentinels, but in Definitive Edition, there's 5 phases because the other 2 phases have always been there, and we've just never actually named them. The 5 phases are start phase, then you have play phase, power phase, draw phase, and then end phase. During your start phase, anything that on a card of yours that says start phase happens. During your play phase, anything in your anything on a card that says play phase happens, and you may play a card. During your power phase, anything on a card that says power phase happens, and you may use 1 power. And draw phase, anything on a card that says draw phase happens, and you may draw a card. Additionally, finally, end phase, anything on a card that says end phase. So there are no more cards like there used to be in Sentinels that says like at the start of your turn do this, or at the end of your turn do this. It's all specifically tied to those phases. Other than that, heroes have a hand of cards on your turn. During your play phase, you play 1 card. You also have powers. You always have your access to your innate power that's on your character card. You also will have other cards in your deck that can give you additional powers. On your turn, you may use 1 power unless you have something that says you can use more than 1 power. And then during your draw phase, you draw 1 card. Over the course of the game, we're going to be using the cards in our hand and the powers that we have in play to stop the villain from doing the terrible things he's trying to do. Baron Blade is, as mentioned, a mad scientist who's trying to pull the moon into the Earth, and the way he does so is he has a deck full of terrible, mean things, and he is going to use those to attempt to stop us from destroying his Terralunar Impulsion Beam. If he, at the start of his turn, has 15 or more cards in his trash, he pulls the lever on his Terralunar Impulsion Beam, and the world is destroyed as the moon crashes into it. Seems bad, so we should probably prevent that from happening. Fortunately, he only starts with 1 card in play, and that 1 card in play is this mobile defense platform. The mobile defense platform just has a simple text that indicates that Baron Blade is immune to damage. That's not great. So as long as that card is there, we can't deal damage to Baron Blade. So he gets this nifty immune to damage token right there. Additionally, it gives him an end phase ability that he did not have before. Let's also give this some hit points. Boop. Boop. These tokens. Boop.
Christopher
Yes.
and Chris Burton, do you still draw 2 cards during your draw phase if you haven't played a card or used a power by the time you reach it?
Correct.
And someone is asking if Akash Treya will have, which I might have said wrong. Did I say it wrong?
Don't worry about it.
Treya, sorry.
Keep going.
Will have a huge, gigantic HP counter.
So Akash Buddha is a villain that has 200 hit points, and she is in the core game, and her and the villain HP counter reaches up high enough for that. The hero Akashtria doesn't exist in Definitive Edition yet, but when she does, the hero HP counters that we already have will definitely work for her. As long as we don't have a hero that has more than 99 hit points, the hero HP counters that come with the game should be fine. And if I ever make a hero with more than 99 hit points, please fire me.
Yeah, noted.
Great. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Maggie, who has the power to fire me. I appreciate it. Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I'll sign something that says that.
Please don't. The other question we have, and
Yes.
I don't believe that this will be possible, is people are wondering if we can get in closer to TTS. I don't think that we can because of our issues with OBS currently, but I want to make sure that we say it on the stream so that people can hear us saying, I don't think that that is possible.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
If we want to get rid of our faces, I can.
yeah, I mean, I think that a thing
they
to do
are
is
okay with getting away with our
if
faces.
right, if you can set up.
Yes, it's already done. So I've already switched to just the tabletop scene. So let me know if that worked. Okay. Mhm. Appreciated. I'll take care of it. Oh Lord.
Strash.
I stream on actual play, so I'm used to this. This happens.
Yeah. No, this is going much better than if we didn't have you.
Gonna
So
get yelled at later.
not by me.
Not by me.
All right. Anyway,
Just gonna put snakes in your house.
Is this working now?
Can you hear me? Andy in the chat yelled at you.
Burton.
In the chat, he yelled, "Burton did
It
not
did
work."
not work.
Is that a thing in your
that's
contract
the
with
yelling.
the snakes, or?
Actually, scorpions are for
Scorpions
me.
is the usual thing. I put scorpions in packages that I ship out to customers.
Oh.
I put snakes in employees' houses. I have done that. I put scorpions in packages
There
that
we
I've
go.
shipped out to customers. So that's where the
Audio
joke
is
comes from.
fixed.
Hooray!
All right.
Okay. Whew. All right. Is audio still fixed when we switch back to this scene? We'll see. Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
What?
Everything going well now. I can switch between these without issue.
The YouTube preview that I'm looking at now is just black. Ah, there we go.
Okay.
Oh man.
There we go. It's fine.
Everything's fine.
All right. All right.
This is what happens when you tell the guy who's used OBS maybe once, hey, make this work.
All right. Okay. So now we are. I'm going to explain again. Okay. So we start the round with the villain turn. The villain does their turn. Villains, rather than start, play, power, draw, end for their phases, just have start and end and play, where on the play phase you play a card and do whatever any play phase cards and play say. And same thing with the environment. They have a start and an end and a play phase. So we'll do the villain turn, start, play, end. Then we'll go through each of the hero turns in clockwise order, and then we'll end with the environment turn, and then we'll begin the round again. There's a lot of other minutia that'll come up. Oh, some things you don't know. I wonder if it's possible for me to just flip this rulebook. No, the back of the rulebook doesn't have the back of the rulebook on it. The back page of the rulebook has an important definitions of a few key terms. And maybe we're getting there. Yeah, there we go. So Chris, if you can blow that up so people in the stream can see it. There's some new key terms that are useful to know because we've always had key terms in this game that like play. What does play mean? It means take a card from your hand and put it into play. What does draw means? It takes the top card of your deck and put it into your hand. We just know these things, but there's other words now like collect, salvage, summon, discover, and bury. Those are key words that all have explained definitions here. And this prevents us from having a card that says, search through your deck for this kind of card. Put that card in your hand. Shuffle your deck. Instead, it just is the word collect. Great. So if you, dear players, are like, wait a minute, this card says to collect something. What does that mean? Just look at the back of the rule book that's up there, and it tells you that definition. Or ask somebody here in the stream. We're happy to answer any questions you might have. that said, before we dive right in, do any of you have any questions? No.
I just want to
Oh.
hear you answer a question from one of the chat because I
Yeah,
think
that's
it's really
also
good to hear you
acceptable.
answer it. Is Definitive Edition a good place for a new player to start, or should they go to the original game?
No, Definitive Edition is the best place for a new player to start. The Definitive Edition is streamlined and just a better product across the board. It's a better game too, better art, better written story, in my opinion.
We've tightened up all the rules. We've closed all the loopholes.
Yep.
Knock on
I just
wood.
told my wife to throw my box set into the trash.
Perfect. I am keeping my original box set, Patrick, but you know, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your life. You're.
I am also keeping my original one, but it's been on the road with me. It's been on tour
Maggie,
with me. So
Maggie, all you use it for is playing Haka, though.
I mean, yeah, me personally, but I show it off in a bunch of.
You're like, look at all these characters. Not this one.
No,
The
this one's
Sentinels
not
collection
just for
has been
me.
through a lot, and I'm definitely keeping it.
Yeah,
I'm teasing. I'm keeping
I
it.
know. Okay.
I also want to know when Zesty Blood will be. Will get their own deck.
I'm not answering questions on the topic of Zesty Blood right now. Hey, look, that's better than a no.
So wait, Maggie,
but
you
no.
want your knife to get a
I
full deck?
don't. Someone else does. We're not answering that question though.
I mean, you don't want the character to get the full deck. You just want the character's knife to get the
The
full
knife
deck.
was very important.
And with all of that said, does anybody have any other questions either from the chat or from the players in here before we get started?
Nope.
Okay. All right. For anybody that's curious about the timeline of this game, it is going to be launching on Kickstarter on March 30th in just 11 days. And that'll be an exciting time for everybody. And then the game will be released physically later this year. And that depends mostly on how printing and shipping things go, things that are out of our hands. But we will have it out for sure before the end of the year. So anyway, let's get started. So everybody's got their hand of 4 cards ready to go. We're going to start with Baron Blade's turn. On his card, he does on his character card have a start phase bit of text, and his start phase text says if there's 15 or more cards in the villain trash, Baron Blade's Terra Lunar Impulsion Beam activates, pulling the moon into the earth. Game over. So we quick check his trash and say, there's currently 0 cards in the trash, so we're close, but not quite there, not quite yet at exploding the world. So we don't automatically lose the game on the first phase of the first villain turn. That's good. It's a good sign. It's a good sign. So then we go to the play phase and we play a card. So we take the top card of the deck and we just drag it over here and then flip it over. And it's a Blade Battalion. They are a minion. They have 5 hit points. So I just grab it. 5 hit points here. Sorry, I'm learning to use Tabletop Simulator as we go here. It's going to be great. Yeah, so I put this Blade Battalion chap right out here. Now, it doesn't do anything innately on its own. It doesn't have any text that says like when this card enters play or anything like that, or this card is played rather. It just has in-phase text. So now we go through cards in play order. And we look first here at Baron Blade. Does his card have any end-phase text? No. So then we go to the mobile defense platform. Does this have any in-phase text? It does. It says reveal the top card of the villain deck. And if it's a minion card, play it. Otherwise, discard it. So let's drag the top card of the villain deck over here and reveal it. It
Spicy.
is a device card. So we don't play it. We instead discard it. What happens if I do this? No. What happens if I do this? Nope. Okay, I don't do that. I'll just move this deck down here and move the counter here and move the card there. That's the villain deck. Is there an easy way in Tabletop Simulator to hover over and be like, how many cards are in this pile?
Once cards start piling up, it'll tell you.
Awesome. Great.
Yeah,
Thank
right
you.
now there are 22 cards in his deck.
In the deck. That
Yep.
makes sense. Okay, great. So we did the end phase thing for the mobile defense platform, already starting to build up that trash pile for Baron Blade. Could be bad. And then the end phase action for the Blade Battalion is it deals the hero target with the highest HP, X melee damage, where X is the current HP of this card. The current HP of the card is 5, so it's going to deal 5 damage to whoever has the most HP. And I have a guess that even though Legacy is big and strong, Haka is bigger and stronger. Haka at 34 hit points is our hero with the highest HP, so Haka takes 5 melee damage from the Blade Battalion. Maggie. All right, I'm doing it.
Just right click on that.
Zoom.
There you
Thank
go.
Yeah. Maggie, you lost 5 hit points because the Blade Battalion stabbed you.
My poor boy. My poor
Yeah.
Haka boy.
Right. Okay, and so with that said, that is all of the villain turn. We did the start phase, we did a play phase, and we did an end phase. I won't be as like overwrought handholdy about every phase from now on, but I want to, for our first time through, be over-explaining. Anybody here that's played or is familiar with Sentinels: The Multiverse should recognize most, if not all, of what we're doing here. We're not Sentinels: The Multiverse Definitive Edition isn't a completely different game. It's the same game, just better and smoother and cleaner across the board. So, all right. Now I go to Legacy's turn here. Oh, these hit point counters are getting big.
Yeah,
Exciting.
I'm rescaling them as I go.
I like it.
Thank you.
Yep.
It's good that we have experts Patrick and Strash here to save us.
I have a quick question, Christopher.
Yeah.
There was a first game order for Baron Blade mentioned on the podcast. Is this it?
It is. I'm glad you asked.
Yay. Yeah. That
Yep.
was Level Up Leo. It's not me.
Yep. This is I figured, but I'm still glad you, Level Up Leo, asked. Yeah, we are playing the pre-ordered deck version of Baron Blade, which is intended to be the first time you ever play the game, play it in this order, and it's designed for a full experience of all the things that can happen. Unless we kill him in the first round. So come on, team, let's get to it.
That was my plan all along.
Got 2 damage.
So I did not draw a hand that's going to enable me to do that.
As long as he's immune to damage, it's going to be tricky. Chris, I'm guessing we don't have Nemesis tokens.
We do not.
Okay, no worries. So in the core game, there are also tokens that are called Nemesis tokens. You'll note that on Baron Blade's character card, right next to his game text panel, he's got a little icon that is the Nemesis icon that matches the Nemesis icon in the bottom left-hand corner of Legacy's character card. That means that Legacy and Baron Blade are nemesis, so whenever Baron Blade himself, not his minions, not his devices, but he himself deals damage to Legacy, it's increased by 1. And whenever Legacy deals damage to Baron Blade, it is increased by 1. But that's all right. That's not going to happen. So first off, it's my turn. So again, start, play, power, draw, end. So start phase, I have nothing in play that says start phase right now, so don't worry about that. And now I do my play phase. I look at these cards in my hand, and I've got, let's see, 2 ongoing cards. I have 2 copies of Dauntless Durability, which is a nice thing to have because that's a card that you want to destroy sometimes. I'm not going to play a true hero yet because it lets my allies regain HP, and only one of them's injured. I actually think I'm going to start right off with a little bit of violence and play the card Thok. The card Thok, which I put up here into play, it's a 1-shot, which means when you play it, it is played and then it goes to the trash. And it says Legacy deals 1 target 5 melee damage. And so I'm going to deal 5 melee damage, in fact, to the mobile defense platform because I don't like Baron Blade being immune to damage. And so now it has gone from 12 HP to a mere 7 HP. And then Thok over here is going to go into my trash pile. Yes, good. So that's what I did for my play phase, and then for my power phase, sorry, I'm scooting stuff around here. For my power phase, I'm going to use my base power, which is until your start phase, so until my next start phase, +1 damage dealt by ally characters. Now, ally is an important word here. Ally is people that are on your team. If an environment card says allies, it means other environment targets. If a villain card says allies, it means other villain targets. As a hero, when I say my ally characters, I mean my fellow hero characters. This +1 doesn't apply to me. It only applies to my teammates. So I have given each of them a +1. Unfortunately, we now have these +1 damage tokens above each of their character cards to indicate that they do 1 additional damage as long as that token is in play. So I've played my card, I've used my power, I draw a card, so I just take the top card of my deck and I put it in my hand, and it is the card Motivational Charge. How nice. Maybe I'll use that in the future. All right. Okay. So that was my turn. I played a card. I used a power. I drew a card. I don't have any end phase stuff, so good to go.
Can I strategize a little bit here, Maggie?
Oh, by all means.
Yeah. What's up?
Can you get one of the enemies down to 3 damage?
Let me see.
So I can consume them with flame?
Right now, the most damage I can do, Hockey deals 2 melee damage there, and then.
And remember, you get +1.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you do
4, 5. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, great.
I can get. Oh wait, down to 1.
2, 3.
Down to 3.
Yep. Then I can get the mobile defense platform down.
Fabulous.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna.
How are you gonna do that?
Well, if I play sudden.
Sudden Utu has a
Sudden
reaction
Utu.
on it.
Oh, it is a reaction. I'm sorry, I read that wrong.
Yeah.
But I got 3 there, so yeah, with the 5, I can get.
You can get the Blade Battalion down to 2.
Yeah, I can get them down to 2.
Yeah. So for your
I'm gonna
start
make that
phase,
one
you've got
happen.
nothing. So you play a
Yeah.
card.
Yeah, I'm gonna play. Haka Defender to set up for future stuff.
Chiaki
And-
Defender.
Have I passed into the
Yeah.
definition of alpha?
And then with my power, I will deal one target two melee damage +1 from that buff, or not buff, to the
Yeah,
Blade
so
Battalion.
the Blade Battalions are down to 2 HP only. All right. So you played a card, and it's an ongoing card, so it stays in play.
Mhm.
You used a power, which did some damage. Excellent. You draw a card.
I draw a
and
card.
that is your turn.
I draw Dance in the Fray. This looks fun.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this art yet. Some of this
Yeah.
art is very new to me.
All right, I'm gonna play Consuming Flame. It does 3 targets, 2 fire damage each. So I will do, well, 2 fire damage, but it's 3 fire damage because of the bonus.
Mhm.
So that this guy will get destroyed. Whoop.
Yay.
And
I grabbed the wrong thing.
that guy just made change with myself. There we go. And because I destroyed that guy with Consuming Flame, I get to draw a card immediately. And then I'll just use my power to do 2 fire damage to one target, which will be the platform, bring it down to 3 points.
So you'll be doing 3 damage to it.
Yes. Or 1 hit point. Yes, 1. Sorry. Said that backwards. Okay. Let's draw a card. Thank you.
Righty, yeah.
Excellent. And your Consuming Flame goes to trash.
Oh yeah, that too. I just wanted to leave it on the table because it looks cool.
So I've got a couple of things that I can do.
Mhm.
First up, Tachyon, what are you thinking about in terms of doing?
Hold on, Tachyon. It looks like you're in the last turn order slot if I'm looking at the table and we're going
Which is
clockwise
very
in turn order.
unfortunate because Tachyon is usually best either up front or second.
Well, we'll see. But it
fine.
looks like Wraith goes next in the turn order, Chris.
Yes, that's why I'm asking Tachyon what she's doing.
All right.
Okay.
Tachyon's plan is to try and make lemonade out of these lemons that I've got in my hand. So I think I'm gonna draw a play, try to throw an attack in there, and get my goggles down. So that's the plan. We'll see.
Okay. So what I can do is I can throw down a utility belt,
I sort of like the new art style.
which then
Christopher.
gives me an additional power this phase. And the power that I'm going to use is to either draw 2 cards or play 1 item card. I will play an item card, that being Stunbolt, which I will then immediately use. And I will be using it on Baron Blade. And even though he's immune, it still works because until my start phase, -1 damage dealt by Baron Blade.
Yes.
Because he's a jerk.
We have sweet tokens for -1 damage still.
Yeah.
And then I will be drawing a
And they
card.
stack nicely.
Ooh, infrared eyepiece.
All right.
And now you're up.
All right, I'm going to do exactly what I said. I'm going to start by playing this fancy card, which is Expedited Efficiency. It allows me to draw a card and then play up to 2 cards. So I'm going to draw a card. Hopefully it's playable. All right. Not what I expected, but it's fine. So I'm going to play Synaptic Interrupt, and I see the cool new reaction text on it.
And a reaction text just means that whenever you would be dealt damage, you may activate your reaction text. And sometimes the reaction text, like in the case of Synaptic Interrupt, won't necessarily prevent the damage. Sometimes it will. Sometimes it's like, oh, reaction, reduce the incoming damage by 2. Or sometimes it's reaction, punch somebody. So, yeah.
In this case, I don't have a whole lot of options. I don't know. You know what? I think I'm gonna open up Baron Blade because I don't want that thing to. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play my HUD goggles, which makes my damage irreducible, and it allows me to play an additional card. Now I know this is a waste, but bear with me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play a Lightspeed Barrage to knock out. It's going to do 1 damage because, of course, Legacy is giving me +1 damage.
Yep, I love this.
And the reason I want to knock it out is because that thing plays extra cards every turn and puts things in the trash. We don't want that. He's opened up, so now I get a chance to use my power, right? So I'm going to use my power. I'm going to reveal the top card of the deck. I think I'm just going to draw it if that's okay, and demonstrate what I drew. Take a look at it.
So actually, you did have,
I think I'm going to keep it in my hand so I have two cards to play next turn.
Okay.
Do we do stacked resolution? If I play that card, does he?
So the trick is
resolved
that
to
the first card
trash,
you
or-
played here let you play 2 cards.
Correct.
And you played Synaptic Interrupt and HUD Goggles, and then that card went to the trash.
Whoop.
Then for off of the HUD goggles card play, you played Lightspeed Barrage. So actually, the expedited efficiency card should be in your trash because it would get shuffled in. So you actually did extra damage to the mobile defense platform.
It only had 1 hit point, but I'll take it.
Right. So expedited efficiency goes into your deck. Oh no, not on top of the deck. Let me see. If I flip it and then I put it on top of the deck, does that work? Yes. And then I go shuffle, 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 shuffle.
I see.
Yeah. The Lightspeed Barrages now shuffle her deck, her trash into her deck.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Fantastic. All right. Well.
So you want to use them as fast as you can, right?
Or you
No,
want to
you
use
would
them when you have a
stack-
lot of cards in your
yeah.
trash. So you do
Oh,
tons of
I see.
damage.
Yeah, because it's reset your deck. Okay.
All right, and then at the end of the turn, I'm gonna draw a card as is my want, and I
Yeah.
am done. I believe
All
it's
right.
Environment turn.
Okay.
Environment turn. So we take the top card of environment deck, we put it right into play, flip it over, and it is a river of lava. So it first says, if imminent eruption is not in play, we summon an imminent eruption. So is there an easy way, Chris, to summon a card from a deck?
You can
into-
right click on it and search it,
Oh.
and then pull it out of the little window and gets created.
What? Ah, very nice. See, look at this. This is great. And then I just pull it. So that is easy.
Then you should shuffle it because you know the contents of the deck. But
Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle,
that's up
well,
to you.
and because the definition of summon does in fact say
Play shuffle. Sure.
Yeah, so both reasons. Okay, so now then it says imminent eruption deals each target other than itself 2 fire damage. So Baron Blade isn't immune to damage anymore. So he does take the 2 fire damage. Thank you, Tachyon. And all the heroes also take 2 fire damage.
It burns. Now I have a question for you, Christopher.
Uh-huh.
Are we allowed to trigger reactions based on that damage?
Absolutely. The only rule is you may use one reaction. Each reaction can only be used once a turn, so you can't react with the same reaction multiple times in a turn. But you're not limited by the number. You're not limited in the number of reactions to take. You're only limited by the number of reactions you have in play. So,
I do have one, and I believe Haka does too.
I do.
okay,
I
so
have a question real fast.
Yeah.
Are
Haka doesn't
the
have
environment
reaction.
cards to scale that much bigger than a normal card? Are cards here vaguely to scale?
every card is to scale. The trick is, but environment cards aren't bigger. They're just turned side. Well, they should be to scale. They actually do look bigger, Chris. It's interesting. Anyway, environment cards are the same as regular hero cards, but they are turned sideways. So environment cards and hero cards and villain cards are the same size, but hero character cards are bigger and villain character cards are bigger. So yeah, the scales actually don't seem quite right here because this villain character card looks way bigger than it should be, but doesn't matter. So no, things aren't to scale. There are 3 sizes of cards: cards and decks. Hero cards, villain cards, environment cards, and decks, all the same size. Hero character cards are a slightly bigger tarot size, and villain character cards are a slightly bigger oversized card. So all right, so yeah, the only person that has a reaction right now is in fact Tachyon. And so you can draw a card or play a card. If you play a card, you destroy your reaction.
Does Haka not also have a reaction?
He didn't play it. He instead played Tiaki Defender.
Excellent.
Nope,
I will trigger my reaction and just draw a card in my hand.
Perfect. Excellent. Okay, and so imminent eruptions is a one-shot. This is an important thing that changed about Sentinels of the Multiverse is that environment cards, instead of just being like untyped for no apparent reason, they now have types, one-shot, ongoing, etc., and they work like every other card in every other deck. So the one-shot that was played goes to the trash after it finishes resolving, but the imminent eruption card hangs around in play because it's an environment card with 20 dang hit points. All right, and it's and it has an end phase text, so we do that now. It's at full HP. If this card has 10 or more hit points, play the top card of the environment deck. Great, and then it does other things at different hit point levels, but unless the top card of the environment deck changes the hit points of the environment of the volcano, notably, it won't change. Great, so this is a card that is a Velociraptor pack. It gets a +2 damage dealt for each other Velociraptor pack in play. There aren't any other Velociraptor packs in play, so it's just no additional damage right now. And it has 6 hit points. Boop, boop. And it has an end phase text, which we are still in the end phase, so we do that end phase text. This card deals the non-Velociraptor pack target with the lowest HP 2 melee damage. So who currently has the lowest HP? It might be the volcano. It is. The volcano only has 20. So the volcano gets chewed on by the Velociraptors.
Those raptors are confused.
have you?
Delicious? No, they're just lava-vores.
Right. Lava's so tasty. It looks like orange.
It does look like orange.
All right. So we have done some environment stuff. It is now Baron Blade's turn. Started the turn. Does he have 15 cards in his trash? No, he has 3 cards in his trash, though. So he's 1/5 of the way there on the first round. It's not nothing. He's no longer immune to damage, so he doesn't have this fancy orange token anymore. He does still have the -1 damage dealt by him because of the Wraith. Nicely done. And so he plays top card of his deck. No, flip. There we go. And it is a one-shot. He deals each hero target 2 toxic damage as he hastens doom. So everybody takes 2 toxic damage. Legacy takes 3 because he's my nemesis.
Ouchies.
And
everybody only takes 1 toxic damage because of the Wraith.
Oh, that's right. Legacy takes 2. That's right. Everybody takes only 1 toxic damage except for Legacy. And Haka, if you want, whenever an ally would be dealt damage by a non-hero card, you could redirect that damage to you. You have Tiaki Defender. You don't necessarily need to start using it yet. Everybody's got on HP, but do note the card you played allows you to take other people's damage yourself.
Yeah, I think I'll hold off for now.
Okay.
And I also don't know how to go down. I think I.
You right click on the number.
Yeah. There you go.
There we
go.
go.
You should be at 28.
No, it should be. No, I accidentally made myself go up.
You should. You were okay. All right. And then after Hasten Doom is played, it goes to the trash, and we play the top card of the villain deck. Boop. Nope, not the whole deck, just the 1 card. I'm gonna get good at this by the time we're done with this game. There we go.
Rip it.
Jet Jump Battalion. It is another type of minion. It has 4 HP, and when it comes into play, it says after this card is played, which is now, we do a thing. Sorry, I'm putting HP tokens out. We reveal the top card of the villain deck, and if it's a device card, we play it. Otherwise, we discard it. So we reveal the top card of the villain deck. It is not a device card. It's a one-shot. It's Devious Disruption. Woo! So we dodged that bullet, but it goes to the trash. So at the end of this round, we've got 5 cards in the villain trash, and we have an end phase text for the Jet Jump Battalion. It deals... This is the first introduction of the H icon. The H icon stands for the number of heroes in the game. There are 5 of us, and therefore it deals the H-2, which is 3 hero targets with the highest HP, 2 energy damage each. So who has the highest HPs?
That's Haka and Legacy.
Yep, it's those 3. So each of the 3 of us take, and this is the Jet Jump Battalion, not Baron Blade, so the damage isn't reduced. We each take 2 energy damage. Boop, boop. Haka, you take 2 energy damage. Nope.
Yep, I went the other way.
Nope, still going the other way.
Yeah.
Right click. Left click goes up, right click goes down. All right.
So I have a weird strategic proposal.
Absolutely.
I can make the party immune to fire damage,
Mm.
and the volcano does 9 damage to the entire play area. Am I reading that right? When it's down to 9 or less damage?
Yes. Yeah.
So if we bring the volcano down to 9 and then I make the party immune to fire damage, we can tow Baron Blade to down with fire damage.
That is true.
Just a proposal.
It's a cool idea. I like it.
Might be too slow though for how fast he's burning up the deck.
One of the players has a question, or one of the chat has a question. Shouldn't Hasten Doom still have been in play until after the next card was played?
Yes.
Resolved since play the top card was part of the.
Yep.
Okay.
It doesn't make a difference for this, but like, yes, order of operations wise, yes, but it doesn't make a difference for for what's happening here.
Awesome.
Okay. So it's Legacy's turn. Technically speaking, the +1s you all have go away, but don't bother moving them. Spoilers, I'm going to use that same power. And I am actually going to play the card A True Hero, which is a brand new Legacy card. It lets me draw 2 cards, and each of my allies regains 1 HP. So each of you gains 1 HP. So Maggie, this is where you left click to go up.
Oh, look, I know how to do that.
Supposedly. And great. So now I have all these other cards in hand. Fantastic. And that card goes to my trash. And I played a card. I use my power. You all still have your +1s to damage. I draw a card. And now it is Haka's turn. These turns are going to go faster now that we've talked through everybody's turns once. But all right. Haka, at the start of your turn, your start phase goes off and destroys Tiaki Defender. So it goes to your trash. And also, you're muted, Maggie.
Sorry, I had a barking dog.
I like Daniel Payne. Hasten Doom, more like hasten your lava bath.
I'm I am
See what the
gonna
Raptors like about it.
Mm-hmm. Raptors on Team Raw. Let's burn down this guy.
Yeah. I'm gonna play sudden how do I say it, Christopher? I don't want to say it wrong.
I mean, how's it look?
I think you said it was O2 earlier, but I would have said U2, maybe.
Uchu.
U2. Thank you.
I wouldn't. The U's make the same sound both times.
Okay.
I would
Which is
also
an ongoing
like
limited
to-
card
Go ahead.
reaction. It's a reaction, so
Yeah.
I'm playing that, and then I will use my power where I deal 2 melee damage.
Who are you gonna do it to? The
And,
flying guy or Baron Blade himself, or one of the environment cards?
What is I'll do it to the flying guy so I get him down to 1 because I also have the +1 still, right?
Uh,
I think.
Dollern in the chat says, "What does True Hero do? Lets you draw 2 cards. How many cards does it let you draw? Yeah, True Hero lets you draw 2 cards, and and then each of your allies regains 1 HP."
Where did these ones go? I'm going to attack the Jetpack Battalion. Ugh.
The jet jump
Don't
battalion.
worry about the jet jump battalion. I'm going to take care of them.
You are okay.
Yeah, go ahead and hit the Baron.
And then I will hit the Baron for 3.
I tried throwing Fnatic off. Somebody was commenting that Fnatic hanging out at the side, so I tried throwing her off the table, and it didn't work.
It would used to work better.
It looked like it would for a second. It was
Right, it's like,
"Ah."
Y'all done, Haka?
Bye. Chris, can you delete Fnatic?
Yes, I certainly
Do
can.
it.
Just select and delete. Yeah. Is it my turn?
Yeah, that's better. Yes, Rod, is your turn. Maggie, did you draw a card for the end of your turn?
I did.
Go.
Okay. I'm gonna play by Flame Reformed. Lets me draw a card. Whoop, and I drew my character card. That's pretty sweet.
It's a cool new move that I haven't seen before.
Yeah, you know.
So you draw a card and you also summon the Staff of Ra.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on that.
Nice.
So I gotta search my deck.
And so
Now-
the keyword summon means you take the card from your deck or your trash and put it directly into play. So summon
Now-
is the most good get that card out card.
If we were playing at home, I would have yelled by Flame Reformed, but I decided to spare you all.
You
But
could
as
still
you
do
as
it.
you went to as you played by Flame Reform, the sun began coming through your window in a way that those of us watching you in the video see this like this bright it's pretty good. It's very appropriate.
All right, and then I'm gonna use my base power to deal 2 damage, which is 3 damage, which is 4 damage because of
Yeah, give you
the
another
Staff of
+1.
Ra.
Yeah.
And whenever Ra deal fire damage to 1 target, you may double the damage dealt after applying other modifiers after you do destroy this card. Ooh, I won't do that this time. But
yeah.
yeah,
But
that's pretty
if
cool.
we can stack up some modifiers, you can turn a
Yeah.
big hit into a huge hit.
And then just resummon it. All right, so 4 damage. I can mark that down. Or did
Excellent.
someone do it?
All you.
And then I will draw a card. That's my turn.
Someone
Excellent.
is wondering if Fnatic will still be in Definitive Edition even though you deleted her.
Nope, now she's gone. Which is a shame because
Deleted
I'm
means
really
deleted.
proud of the work that we put into her, and I think that she has a really cool new mechanic that she never had before. That's awesome. She's got a couple of new cards you've never seen, and it's a shame that unfortunately all of that work is in the trash now. It's also
Alrighty.
going to be weird later when we have the villain apostate, and he's like, "I'm the nemesis of 404. You are not
Mark, it's-
found."
Yeah, exactly. It's redacted. Just gone.
Alrighty.
This is don't say that. This is all gonna be on Reddit now.
I'm used to that.
I am going to play a flashbang projector.
It's Christopher to do a long eye roll into the horizon.
And then I'm going to flashbang this card and put it back on top of the Baron's deck.
Yeah.
Dominic is asking if Patrick had an extra play from that one-shot card.
Yeah, yep, the one-shot card has draw, summon, play on it. So
The summon got you the staff. Did you play another card after that?
Oh, I didn't know the summon. I thought the summon, I
Summon,
had to put
summon
oh.
puts it into play, so you would still have one more play before your power usage. Good catch, chat.
Thanks everybody. Okay, so let's I'm gonna put this thing that makes me immune to fire damage
Oh
into
yeah, that
play.
makes sense. Yeah,
And then giggle when you guys all get hit by fire damage.
seems appropriate.
So the
come I'm gonna
flashbang
put your
destroys
cards here?
itself,
Good catch, whomever caught that. Thank you.
and then I'm going to use the power on my utility belt to draw 2 cards, and then I will draw a card to end my turn.
I didn't realize summon. Is that? I feel like that's new for the Staff of Rock card, or
Yes.
the summon staff
Yeah.
card.
Yep. Summon staff. So yeah, by Flame Reforged works differently than summon staff.
Yeah.
Wraith, you all set?
I am all done.
Yeah. I'll
Awesome. In which case, I'm going to do some very basic things here. So the first thing, I have nothing that happens during the start phase, I don't believe.
Mhm.
We're going to go into my play phase where I get to play 2 cards. I'm going to start by playing this card, Nimble Strike, which allows me to do 1 target, 2 melee damage, which becomes 3, and I get to draw a card. So I'm going to Nimble Strike Baron Blade here for 3. 3. It goes in my trash, I believe. And then let me draw that 1 card, see if it's anything fancier than what I was expecting.
Oh, Discover lets you play the cards also. Mm.
Yeah, discover and summon both play cards. Salvage and collect both put the cards in your hand.
Okay.
Salvage takes a card from the trash, puts it in your hand. Collect takes a card from your deck, puts it in your hand. Summon takes a card from trash or deck and puts it right into play. And discover reveals card from the top of your deck until you get the thing asked for and puts it into play. So
Yeah.
discover you don't have as much control over.
So I could
Right.
blow up the Staff of Ra and discover it.
I'm gonna have to trust my team to carry me here, but I think I'm gonna go hot. So
Yes!
I'm gonna play Pushing the Limits, which gives me yet an additional play this play phase. And it gives me a new power. Tachyon deals 1 target, 3 melee damage, and then destroy this card. So I think I'm going to, during this play phase, I'm going to Sucker Punch Baron Blade. So I'm just going to play the Sucker Punch so that everyone can look at the sweet art. But it's basically 1 target, 1 melee damage. The second half of it doesn't really matter. It's just going into my trash. And I'm going to do 2 damage to Blade. All right. I believe I get to use a power now. I could hurt Blade really hard with Pushing the Limits, but then it gets destroyed, and I want the sweet extra draw.
Okay.
So I am going to actually instead use my basic power, which allows me to reveal the top card in my deck and then draw or discard it. So I am actually going to technically draw it. Take a look at it. Nope. I'm just going to discard it.
There we go.
All right. Stack up my discard pile, nice, so I can see the counts.
I like this one.
And at the end of my turn, I'm going to draw 2. I am done.
All right, so there's no environment stuff that has a start of turn effect in it. So we take the top card of the deck, we put it into play. What's it say? It's a 1-shot. Each target regains 1 HP. So every target in the game gets an HP back. So Baron Blade
Aw.
does, the Volcano does. It's great. It's great. Did each of your heroes
I'll do
regain
it.
an HP?
Mhm.
Okay. And then the non-environment target with the lowest HP deals itself 3 fixed toxic damage. Fixed is a new keyword that we haven't talked about before. Fixed means it isn't changeable. It can't be increased. It can't be reduced. If you're immune to damage, you're still immune to damage. But fixed can't be +1 or -1. Is this -1 still here on Baron Blade?
It is not.
Okay. And so anyway, 3 fixed toxic damage is going to be the so who is the non-environment target with the lowest HP?
Baron Blade.
That would be Baron Blade.
So Baron Blade gets toxified by a plant and deals himself 3 fixed toxic damage.
Fixed, by the way, is a new thing. It means that it
I just
can't
explained
be...
that, buddy.
Fine.
Just explained that.
Fine. Be that way.
You were supposed to say stop hitting yourself to Baron Blade, but
All right, cool. And then we have the end phase things that happened in turn order. So it means that we start with the end phase for the imminent eruption, which currently the volcano still has 19 hit points. So we play the top card of the environment deck. Whoop. It is, that's the back of the deck. It is another dinosaur. It's an enraged T-Rex. He's angry. Then we do the end phase Velociraptor and then the end phase of T-Rex. The end phase Velociraptor, what is the non-Velociraptor target with the lowest HP? I believe it's the T-Rex.
It's the T-Rex.
Yeah, so we get to do the Jurassic Park canonical thing where the T-Rex shows up and the Velociraptor chomps it. Oh my gosh. It's like it was meant to be. And then the T-Rex wants to know what the target other than itself with the second lowest HP is. So the target with the lowest HP is the Velociraptor. The second lowest
That would be
is the
Baron. No,
no,
you're right.
it's
Yeah.
it's the volcano. Dinosaurs like
Lava's
chewing on
delicious.
volcanoes.
They just lava to chomp on that hot
Oh my
stuff.
gosh, yes. Stretch.
I gotta go.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
Someone's
right.
asking, can fixed damage be redirected?
Yes.
I think level up
Oh,
is
wait, no.
being silly.
No, but
No,
fixed damage
it's-
cannot be redirected.
Yeah, that's why I think level up was just.
That's a fair question.
It is a good question. Yes.
It can
Alright.
be prevented if you're immune to it.
That is true. And
Is
the
that
thing that
another
I
thing
said.
you just said?
Yep.
God damn it.
Yep.
Oh,
all right.
PG.
Yes.
When
I
we
don't
when
pay
we took the toxic damage,
Oh, you had a reaction.
I had a reaction. I would like to draw a card. I'm just gonna note so that
Yeah.
people see cards moving into my hand. That's why.
It's okay if you need to cheat by drawing extra cards. We understand. And so this is actually a good case. Maggie, you have a reaction.
I
But your
do.
reaction deals the attacker 2 melee damage.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
So.
So you could, I guess, punch yourself.
don't
Actually, no,
but
because
no,
that's
we
not
didn't
right
we
in
didn't
the-
deal ourselves toxic
mm.
damage. We got hit points from the only toxic damage that was dealt was by
Yeah.
Baron Blades.
2 Baron Blade.
Yeah, was Baron Blades. To himself, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I believe that we're done with all the end phase things for the environment, and we're moving on to the villain turn. Man, playing this game on Tabletop Simulator is arduous, but we're making it work. He's got 5 cards in his trash, so he doesn't win the game, but he's a third of the way there. And last round, he was only a fifth of the way there, so progress. He plays a card. It's the Jet Jump Battalion. We knew it would be, because Wraith put it back there a second ago. But as soon as it's played, we reveal the top card of the villain deck, and if it's a device card, it's played. It is a device card, and so it is played. It's a walking tank, a brand new Baron Blade card, never seen before. So it gets its 5 hit points.
Not even Christopher has seen it.
Yeah,
Wild.
it's a secret to everyone.
Looks so good.
Put these HP tokens out. Okay, and that is the play phase. Now, the end phase, who are the 3 targets with the highest HP? I believe it's still Ra, Haka, and Legacy. So each of them is going to take 2 energy damage, and if any of them have a reaction, they could use it now.
I have a reaction.
Oh, wow.
I would like to punch somebody in the face.
You
Twice.
specifically can only punch the person that just punched you.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so you punch them for 2 damage, except, hold on, do you have any pluses to damage?
I have 1 plus to damage. Yeah.
So you do 3 damage to them, dropping them to 1 HP. And then the remote walking tank. Who's the hero target with the highest HP?
Currently,
Hilariously, I think it's me.
It is
Oh, yeah, it
Tachyon.
is.
And so you get dealt 5 energy damage.
Ow,
by
it
this
hurts
tank.
so much. I would like to draw a card though.
My plan worked. I mean,
All right. Well, don't worry, Tachyon. You're no longer the hero target with the highest HP.
It's true.
And
So just to clarify on reactions,
Yes.
this is a new turn. It's Baron Blade's turn. I get to use it again now, or is
Yep.
it
yep. Well, so you haven't used that reaction yet this turn, right?
not this turn? I used it during
Correct.
the environment turn.
Nope. It's each turn.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's like powers where each power can be only used once per turn. Each reaction can only be used once per turn as well. But with powers, you're gated to having 1 power around unless something, or a turn unless something gives you more powers. With reactions, you're only limited by the number of reactions you have in play. All right, so that is Baron Blade's turn, and we go to Legacy's turn. I am going to play a card, and then I am concerned about our lack of speed in killing Baron Blade, so I'm actually gonna go do another Thok. So I deal 5 damage to Baron Blade, which is actually 6 damage because we're Nemesis. And so that takes him down to 15. And then I'm going to use my power to keep us all in the +1s. And I'm going to draw a card. And that is my turn. Go.
Go. Okay. Discard any number of cards off of deals. Okay. I'm gonna use Haka of Battle, and so hopefully that will let me set up for. Hang on. If I play it now.
Yeah.
It's a start phase, so I can play it next turn start phase.
No. So the Hawk of Battle, you play it
Yeah.
now. And here we go. So it has an ongoing thing that is true. And then during your start phase, it'll do the start phase stuff. So you always
Okay.
play a card during your play phase. You play the card. As long as the card is in play, you have a +1 damage dealt by you. And then during the start phase, you do what the text for start
Got
phase
it.
says.
Got it. Okay. I wish I had more to discard. But that's still not bad.
Well,
do
but
that.
if you want to build up cards in your hand, you could do something like Dance in the Fray, which gives you more card draw.
Oh,
but
draw one. Yeah, I'll do
but-
that actually.
but it says, you draw one card or play one card. The other thing that's nice about it is when your ongoing cards are destroyed, you deal one target 2 melee damage. So you'll note you destroy your own Haka cards.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it up here to kind of get it out of the way a little bit.
Sure.
Also, it has awesome artwork.
Yeah, I love that artwork. So this is an ongoing limited, yeah, and it allows me to use that power.
Right.
So I'm gonna use that power this turn.
Okay.
Draw one card. Draw, and then I can play one card.
Right.
What did I draw? Another Haka battle.
Which of your Hakas do you want to play? Daniel Payne in the chat asks, I'm only occasionally looking at the chat, but Daniel Payne asks, does the definitive edition have varying difficulty settings like advanced? And the answer is yes. Every villain has their own advanced mode. Additionally, each villain has 2 different types of events. A regular event, which makes them a little bit more challenging, but not really notably more so. So if you want to think of like what an ultimate mode would be, it would be event plus advanced mode. And then there's also a critical event, which is an alternate character card. So the critical event for Baron Blade is Mad Bomber Blade, for instance. But it's not just the alternate character card. It's like the events have a bunch of story stuff and can be played as a campaign. So
I like the Mad Bomber mode.
it's fun.
So I'm playing Haka of Battle, +1 damage dealt by Haka, discarding a number of cards. Haka deals 1 target X melee damage, where X is the number of cards discarded this way, +2, then destroy this card. So I am playing this card, so does it go off now, or it goes off on the next one?
It goes off during your start phase, which we're currently not in the start phase. We're in the play phase.
Okay.
Actually, we're in the power phase because you used a power. So
yeah.
It doesn't happen in the power phase. It happens in the
Start phase.
correct.
Yep. Got it. And then I'm gonna draw a card. Done.
All right. 7 and then 8 damage. How would you all like me to finish off Baron Blade?
However you want.
I mean,
With style.
how would you like? Would you agree with that plan if I could
Yeah,
do that?
Wreck 'em.
If you can
Yeah,
make it
go.
happen, I'm all
Let's
about
go.
that plan.
All right.
We only needed, yeah, there we go.
I'm gonna Fire Blast for 7 damage.
Mhm. And what are you
So-
gonna fire blast?
I'll Fire Blast Baron Blade.
Oh, I thought you were gonna fire blast the volcano.
No, I don't just. Oh, I'm immune to fire damage. Good luck, everybody.
Actually, if you want to make us immune to fire, I will get
crank it
the
up
I
with
will
the
get the
staff,
volcano
though.
below 9.
If you wanted to
Or
do 14 damage instead of 7.
Oh, that's true.
what's that?
You could blow up the staff to double the damage you just did it with fire blast.
I was gonna just do on my own power card. I
Okay,
was gonna double.
yeah, you got this.
And then yeah, I'll blow up the staff for Bra. Oh, so I could
Right.
blow up the staff for that and bring him down to 1.
So yeah, so he was at what, 15 before you did that?
Yeah. So I'd bring him down to 1. Sure, I'll blow up the staff on the Fire Blast.
So that does 14 damage, which drags it down to 1, and then you're still in and now you're in your power phase.
Okay, and then I will activate.
So this +1
This goes away, unfortunately. Yep. And then I'll activate Flesh of the Sun God and let the volcano do the rest of the work. All right, so everybody's immune to fire damage for the rest of the round.
Yay, that's gonna be very
Excellent.
helpful.
Alrighty. I am going to get myself some combat prowess. Because
Portals,
it's always
stand
nice to
behind me.
have a reaction. And then I will be using my infrared eyepiece or rather I'll be using my utility belt to either draw 2 cards or play 1 item card. And you know what? I want a little bit more options, so I'm going to draw 2 cards.
Cool.
And then I will draw another one for the end of my turn. And now, Tachyon, you are up.
All right, show us your moves.
All right, here we go. Step 1, everybody's gonna get to draw a card because I'm gonna play Fleet of Foot, one of the best
Yeah.
cards from before. Hasn't been changed much. Each hero
Yep.
draws a card. I get to play an extra card.
Yeah. Everybody
Yeah.
loves Fleet of Foot.
I drew my power card again.
Oh, this is good. You do your
My
character card?
card, yeah.
You want that in your hand.
Yeah, I do.
So for my fleet of foot play, I'm going to play Accelerated Assault, which is going to deal. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I have to take a bunch of damage before I start. So during the start phase, I now actually have a start phase thing. which is
But you
pushing
do
the
2
limits.
fixed fire damage to yourself, and you're immune to fire damage.
Oh, amazing! Ra, you're the best. All right, let's just.
The friction of you running so fast is causing you
So
fire damage,
good.
but Ra's like,
So
there is no
good.
burning. None shall burn.
Ra. Okay, let's just. Tachyon's gonna do 1 damage to everything, but of course it's boosted, so I'm gonna be doing 2 damage to everything, including Blade. So Blade's gonna go down.
What order do you want to
wanna
do this
the
damage to
tokens?
everything? Do you want to do it to him first, or do you want to clear out other things first? Like, you get to choose the order.
I haven't seen Blade's flip side, so I don't know if it's bad to do him first, but I would do him first normally.
Great.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah,
so we'll
yeah,
flip
it's
him.
fine.
He goes back up to 30. I will say Baron Blade is the villain who has changed the least from definitive edition from original edition to definitive edition, but he has some new tricks, like as you saw, the mobile defense platform and other things, so some new minions and stuff. But other villains have changed more. Yep.
Let's wreck the jet battalion next, just to make it go away.
Sure. Boop. And we no longer care about cards in the trash. When he flips to this side, we destroy all of his ongoing cards in play. Fortunately, he doesn't have any ongoing cards.
Yeah.
And we set his HP to 30, which we have done.
Next up, just do the 2 damage to the the tank.
Now, is the second side of Baron Blade a new target for this purpose, or?
No, it is the
Okay.
same target. It's the same card. That's a good question, though.
Now
I
he's
have
playing Laravel.
manually done the damage to the T-Rex, and I'm going to do the damage to the volcano.
Have you done the damage to the...
Not the Velociraptors. I have not
Alright.
touched the Velociraptors.
I got him.
All right. So that card is resolved. I'm also going to put in my trash. So that was my fleet of foot play.
Yes, it was.
I still get 2 more plays. I get 1 normal play. I get an additional play from my goggles, and I get an additional play from the
Right. So you've so far
pushing
used
limits.
1 of your 3 plays
Correct.
to play 2 cards so far.
All right. So next, I'm going to drop Sonic Vortex. Tachyon deals X targets 3 sonic damage, where X is the number of cards in your trash.
Which is 6 right now.
So
Wage
1,
name's getting
2,
blown
3,
away.
4, 5. I'm not going to do damage past 5 targets, so I'm going to wipe out the tank. I'm going to do 4 damage to Baron Blade, because we might as well start wiping the floor with him.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to remove the Velociraptors.
Boom.
So that's going to go into the environment trap. Oop, I'm going to try that. Okay. And I'm going to do 4 damage to the volcano and the big dino.
Nice.
All right. Big Dino's down to 6. Volcano's down to 8. Uh-oh.
Someone is asking, doesn't the remote walking tank have -1 damage?
It does. It has
Taking-
-1 damage
okay.
dealt to it.
But Tachyon
And-
was doing irreducible damage.
Right. Sorry, that's the thing that we
There
did.
we go.
Yeah, Tachyon's HUD goggles make all of her damage dealt irreducible.
So next up, we might as well keep going spicy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play Lightspeed Barrage. I currently have 6 cards in my trash, so they're all gonna go into my deck, and I'm gonna shuffle my deck as soon as I get them all in there. And
Do we want to put him in face up though?
I'm trying to.
Here, I'll mess with that while you do card stuff.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
6 + 1 is 7, so I'm just gonna click him down 7. He's gonna go to 19. Oops. And then I'm going to use the power on pushing the limits. So I'm not going to have any additional cards to play because I have a limited item and ongoing destruction. There's no ongoing that I need to destroy. And then I'm going to use the power on pushing the limits, which is to do 3 damage, and it also destroys the card. And so I'm going to do 4 damage to Baron Blade.
So he just came out and he's already halfway down.
Tachyon!
Yeah.
And then at the end of my turn, I'm going to draw a card.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, also, you have 2 cards in your hand that have some of my favorite art on them.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
I was going to comment on that, but I was hoping to play it when I commented.
Blinding
Yes.
Speed is fantastic. One thing I do want to point out is that all of the card backs now have like pivotal moments in those characters' lives, which I think is really cool.
The idea of the
Hypersonic
tableau.
Dash is so good too.
Yeah. The idea for the tableau of the characters, you have your character card, and like this is the iconic look of this character. Then there's the deck back, which is like here are some important parts of this character's story and the kind of the backstory of the character. And then each of the cards you play have different moments of like cool things happening. So when you're looking at your play area, you have this idea of here's your hero, here's their backstory, and here's what they're doing in this event. So. All right, Tachyon, did you do enough things in your turn? Do you feel like?
I was the speedster I was born to be.
There you
So
go.
spicy,
I have done
the
its environment turn.
spiciest.
All right. First, at the start of the environment turn, there's no start or turn effect, so we just take a card, not the whole deck. We just take a card and we play it, and it is a Stegosaur. What kind of Stegosaur? It is a grazing Stegosaurus. It has a start phase
Aw.
effect, but yeah, so don't punch this dinosaur. It's not mean. It has a start phase effect, but we are past the start phase already, so that'll happen at the start of the next turn. It has an end phase effect, but first we have to do all the other end phases. So first, the imminent interruption. If this card has 9 or fewer HP, it currently has 8. This card deals each target other than itself X fire damage, where X is the current HP of this card. So it's going to deal 8 fire damage, thus killing the T-Rex.
Aw.
Straight up murdered.
And severely
Nom, nom,
burning
nom.
the Stegosaur.
The Stegosaurus had 12 HP. It only has 4 now.
I got it for you.
Baron Blade has gone from 15 to 7, dealt almost as much damage, well, actually dealt half as much damage by a volcano as by Tachyon. Tachyon, also known as Meredith, does twice as much damage as a volcano. Stinson, she had that on her business cards, and then it would do 8 damage to each of us, but it's all fire damage. Patrick, do you have anything to say about that?
Stand behind me, mortals.
I was worried you were going to say, nah, let them burn. Sucks to be you guys. All right, and so
I
with
said
that,
I was gonna win. I will.
Yeah,
I will
no.
win with you all.
yes. And then the Stegosaurus says this card deals the card other than itself with the second highest HP, 2 melee damage. So who's the highest HP? Highest HP is a bunch of heroes that are tied. So
Yeah.
the second highest is a bunch of heroes that are tied. So the Stegosaurus, angered by the flame, strikes one of us for 2 melee damage, and I will take it. I am
No,
legacy.
wait.
What?
Oh, okay. Well, if I
You
get
can
attacked,
you can have it if you want it.
Haka deals the attacker 2 melee damage. Maybe I want to punch this dinosaur in the face.
And actually, so you deal 2 negative melee damage. You have 2
Plus
plus
2.
ones, so you deal 4 melee damage to it, and as a result, you don't take damage. You interrupt the damage.
Oh, reactions
That-
interrupt? Amazing.
Yes. Yeah,
Dude,
yeah, yeah.
that is way more ideal. I
Yeah,
love it.
So it goes to punch you, and you punch it first with some sudden utu.
Nope.
I like dinosaurs, but that guy had it coming.
Wow.
It
Rude.
just sat there getting peacefully grazing.
He's like,
while
I'm just
getting
gonna eat
burned
something, and then the
How did
alive.
it
fire
try-
startles it. It runs at you because you're startled, and you
And I
snap its
say,
neck.
A bomb. Oh, I hate that.
Well, You were okay with
We are
punching it to death, but not
heroes.
snapping
yeah,
its
but it
neck?
We are
wasn't as-
heroes.
it
We
was
knock
too
it out.
graphic. Yeah,
Okay,
knock
there you
it
go.
out.
Into the
You
lava, where it
You
promptly
snap its
dies.
neck to sleep instead of snapping its neck to death.
Oh, moving on.
And then you
You just like
barbecue
flick it
over
real hard in the
lava.
forehead, and just like, oh, nap.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Just a nap. No,
Donk.
no, yeah.
And it will nap where it will get hit by more lava next turn and die.
And then we'll have dinosaur. You know,
It's delicious.
it's
It's
good with sauce.
All right, so we're on to Baron Blade. Baron Blade no longer cares about winning the game via cards in his trash. Instead, he cares about winning the game via killing a bunch of heroes. So he has some end phase stuff he'll do, but first he plays a card. He plays his card. It is Consider the Price of Victory. While this card is in play, it's an ongoing card. -1 damage dealt by hero targets. So each hero target is going to get one of these terrible red tokens that reduces the damage that we deal by 1. Oh no. Most terrible indeed. All right, I believe everybody has one. Good. And then it has a start phase text, but we're not, like, I feel pretty confident that we're not going to see Baron Blade's next start phase. But essentially, this card's in play. As long as this card is in play, he's monologuing and we deal less damage. And his monologue ends at the start of his next turn and does something terrible. So we better interrupt his monologue. Then for his end phase, he deals the hero target with the highest HP, which is still a tie among 4, 5 melee damage. And then it deals each hero target 1 energy damage. So who wants to tank the big 5 damage? I'll take the big 5 damage because we're all going to get hit by some things. So it might as well. So people with reactions will still get to react. So I'll take the big 5 damage, which is 6 damage for me, and then after that, we each take 1, which is 2 damage for me because I'm his nemesis. So each of you takes 1 damage, but anybody that has reactions can do those reactions now.
Draw a card.
I'm going to use my combat prowess to take -2 to the damage that I would be dealt, and if
Yes.
the wraith takes no damage as a result, I can play 1 card. So since
Yeah,
I have
what
no
card
longer
are you gonna
taken
play?
any damage, I'm going to use my grappling hook to immediately get rid of Consider the Price of Victory.
Hooray! And now that means gets rid of all of the
And
minus
then
ones.
I can draw a card or play a card. So I will do an impromptu invention off of that. Where
Goodness
I
gracious.
draw a card, and then I discover an item. I don't know what it will be, but it will be an item. It's another stun bolt. But that is limited, so it goes into my hand.
And this is an important new thing. If you would be made to play a limited card and you can't, it goes to your hand. So if you discover a limited card or summon a limited card is trying to come into play, but there's already a copy of it, it goes to your hand instead.
And then as a result of that, even though it's not precisely the right time to use this, I'm going to abduct and interrogate.
No!
And I'm going to deal Baron Blade 2 toxic damage, and if he was destroyed, I'd get some bonuses off of that, and also the game would end.
This is the Wraith's most horrifying card. Abduct and interrogate.
Zoom in on it, Chris.
It does.
Oof.
And my
That
favorite part
art.
of this card is the flavor text, in fact.
My favorite part of this is that before we restricted it to non-hero targets, everybody would kidnap Bebot and make Bebot tell them the villain's plans.
Oh.
Yeah,
Which-
abducting and interrogating Bebot was a primo strategy. Bebot just taped to a chair. Anyway, okay.
It only
so
says
that,
Buzz. Monsters.
That was all during Baron Blade's turn. So now we're going to Legacy's turn. I'm going to play Inspiring Presence. Each of you gains an HP. And each of you gets another +1 to damage.
Oh man, I'm gonna kill that guy.
Yeah, and if you don't, no problem.
Yeah. All right. Haka, it's your turn.
Okay, so
I also drew my my character card, Patrick. It's
Vindication.
classic move.
Classic.
So it's your start phase, Maggie?
yep, start phase. So discard any number of cards. Haka deals 1 target X melee damage, where X is the number of cards discarded this way, +2, +3. So I'm gonna discard all of my cards.
Sure.
I don't even have to do that.
Yeah, but do it for the dishonor.
for effect. Yeah.
Snap
so-
his neck to sleep.
I will say, okay, so I did love this. Little Sally Digsby in the chat said, Christopher, on the letters page, you're like, destroying a target isn't always killing a thing. It's hurting it enough to convince it to leave.
Yeah.
Unless you're Maggie? Question mark, question mark, question
Yeah,
mark.
unless you're Maggie. Yeah. No,
Which
that's
is
correct.
fair.
That's correct
I'm-
for, and it's not even. It's not even except for unless you're Haka. Like Haka definitely subdues targets with great
It's
regularity.
Maggie.
But Maggie is a murderer. Everyone knows that.
That's a fact, actually.
Yeah.
The prisoner's ready for transport. This guy is dead.
And ready for transport.
So
In bags.
10. I deal Baron Blade 10 damage.
Yes, that's true. So he is now at -5. But the game continues. It does not. So we've defeated Baron Blade. Congratulations, everybody.
Now we
Heroes
flip him
all.
back over.
Yeah. Oh no!
Again. No.
You flip him to the third side. What?
This is the third side. Put him in a body bag, says someone in all caps.
Oh, here. Can I draw Baron Blade's card? I can.
Oh yeah, that's a card. You can draw your whole deck if you type 30 or 40.
Aggressive. Just take that out.
You can draw tokens too.
All
All
of these
right,
out. There you
so
go.
now we just throw Omnitron down on the
Oh,
table
oh,
and
yeah, so-
continue.
Yeah. How do we put everything
How do you put everything back?
into play? I'm gonna let somebody do the thing. Put everything on the table.
Oh, you want to let? Oh, I get what you want to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
There
yeah.
you go.
There
It's
you go.
all on the
Yeah.
table.
Everything on the table. Yes.
All right. Who wants to
wants to
do
flip the table?
Flip?
I think
I
think
I got my
let's-
whole deck out.
I think that there's either a good argument. It's either Strash or Patrick, because Patrick
Yeah.
managed to save us all from the fire damage, but Strash also with Tachyon did like
So spicy.
twice as much damage as a volcano to Baron Blade. So
Go for it.
Yeah.
flip that table.
Flip the table. Flip the table. I'm just flicking things around.
Do you know how to flip the table?
There's a
Josh?
button at the top that says flip.
Yeah.
Flippity flips.
It's not as. It may not be as exciting as it used to be. It depends on the table. Oh, that's a good table for it. My cards.
Nice.
Oh, they're just flying infinite with the table sailing by in the infinite void. All right, everyone.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for joining our live stream. This has been a delightful time. People who played for the first time, Maggie, Strash, and Patrick, did you? How was your experience? Did it? How did it seem? It seemed familiar, but also different, or what? Like, you tell me.
I can't even explain how much reactions are like. I'm so happy about that because I also remember having an argument with Matt Kroll at the first time I ever played Sentinels, and I was like, if I'm reacting, why can they punch me? And he was like, that's just how the game is. And now, no more.
Well, reactions are a brand new thing to Sentinels of the Multiverse Definitive Edition,
Mhm.
and people have asked if they are at all related to the reactions that you can use in the RPG, and the answer is yes. Sentinel Comics, the role-playing game, and Sentinels of the Multiverse Definitive Edition have more in common than any other two Sentinels projects ever have, so there we go.
I like the little tweaks to all the cards that make it feel a little bit more dynamic. Like right away when I saw the platform makes you draw an extra or makes him draw an extra card, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's pretty cool because I mean, you know, there's tension to give rid of the platform, yeah, because it's basically 10 extra hit points for Grand Blade. But yeah, I thought I really liked that. And then like with the staff and then the Tachyon's able to push a lot of cards. It felt really thematic. So I like it. And I like the new art a lot. I think
The art's phenomenal.
I like the kind of 50s Lino style. It looks pretty cool. So
Tacky feels like tacky, which I think is really important for the thematic elements of the game, but the polish in the cards is undeniable. Somebody in chat was actually mentioning how the Sucker Punch now has like additional utility, and we saw that in a bunch of the cards. And even though I had one of the worst draw piles occasionally, I not only made it work, but you saw the combo that I chained through specifically because of the reactions and everything else. And it definitely had that speedster sort of like build up your speed and then dump your hand and then do it again sort of vibe to it. I really liked it. It's definitely as advertised, right? Like it's the thing, but it's got tweaks and it's smoother. I didn't get, by the way, for chat, if you're listening, I've gotten zero preamble. I didn't get to look at the cards. I didn't get the deck. I knew nothing. I just sat down and it feels exactly like the old game, just, smoother and more polished, which is exactly what, you've been advertising. So
I like the Lightspeed Barrage is reshuffles the deck now because then you aren't hoarding the 3 of them you have in your deck until the end of the game and then just dumping a bunch of damage out. Like you just play it now when you need to instead of hoarding it. So I like that a lot.
sometimes for 1 damage.
Sometimes for 1 damage.
Hey,
That's okay.
that first Lightspeed Barrage you did, which actually did 2 damage, but ended up being incredibly crucial. Like that was really important. So yeah, yep. All right, cool. Well, Maggie, are there any other questions from the chat?
How do you like the font on the cards? It's certainly easier to read is one question that we got. So that has actually been something that's been discussed a lot. I love the font on the cards, and if anyone else has opinions on it, that would be great to hear.
I have opinions.
I know you do. You have so many opinions.
So
I think that
people have. One of the biggest complaints we ever got about the original version of Sentinels: The Multiverse was that the font on the cards was hard to read because it was Comic Sans. And I would like to say here, we have never used Comic Sans in any product ever because how dare we? Why would we do that? Are we monsters? And the answer is yes, we are monsters. I have a product coming out later this year that has Comic Sans in it. You'll all rue the day. But anyway, that's a spoiler for months.
That's not Comic Sans.
Oh, there's a Comic Sans that's coming out later this year. Don't worry.
That game was.
None of that was, right. No, those are all specific hand-lettered fonts that we used that looked and felt like comic books. But the point was well taken that some people had trouble reading the cards. So now we still have thematic typefaces used in various places, especially for like the comic book quotes, but the game text is in a font that is still a very comic book appropriate font, but it's more like the font that you would find in the titles page or the letters page as opposed to the lettering within the comic itself. So it still fits, it's still thematic, but it makes the game text a bit easier to read. So that's the reason for that.
I heard Christopher saying he's gonna put up a website where he'll read all the cards to you also. I heard him say that. I don't know if that's true or not.
Patrick, for the I think it was the Oblivion Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Everybody that pledged, everybody that backed the Oblivion Kickstarter, one of the
Listed
things that we
names.
offered was I did
You
a
read
video
the...
where I read every backer's name in a video. I think it was like a 4-hour video. It's still on YouTube. It's still on this channel.
I'm gonna
and
go
it's
watch that right now.
every backer's name. And I did it. Trevor,
You're
our
funny.
videographer, made a rig for me that attached a camera to my chest, and I walked around our warehouse and offices just with this giant stack of paper, reading names and throwing pieces of paper over my shoulder as I went.
So
I read every person's name, and I lost my voice by the end of it, and it was fantastic. So,
A question that we've received throughout the stream is the game or demo of this game on TTS, or will
No.
it be available? And yeah, the answer
maybe
that I'm
someday,
giving-
but probably not, because
Yeah.
the card game is the way to play it. As you noticed, it was clunky. Like, I've done tons of playtests in this game, and it's just this is a game that's better played in person. And as you might know, there's a company called Handelabra that makes a fantastic video game version of Sentinels: The Multiverse, and we have been talking to them, and they're fully intending to make a fantastic version of Definitive Edition video game. One way or another, it'll work out how they're going to do it. And so why would we want it on Tabletop Simulator for regular play when you could have it instead in a very streamlined, polished version, or a physical play version? Those are the best two versions. So
I think that is the last question, and I would just like to remind everybody, March 30th, we will be launching on Kickstarter, 10 a.m. Central. If you look in the bio of this, what are your hands for?
before you ended, I want to say one more thing, but go. Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
In the bio of this, if you read the description, it has a link. You can sign up to get notified when we go live, and also for more information as we release information about the product.
Before we go, Patrick, do you have anything you want to plug? Where can people find you on the socials? What do you do?
Yeah. I make a little game called Root, and I make a little game called Vast. I'm not the sole maker of those things. My company makes those things with all the people that work there.
Patrick,
And-
what about Oath?
And Oath is shipping to some people right now. It's
I'm
on a
so
boat
excited.
from China to America right now, I believe. I don't pay attention.
My point is,
to
I don't care how long it takes to get to me. I am so excited to play Oath. Oath is
For
almost
some
certainly
people,
going to
he
be my
meant
favorite
not
leader game
you.
game.
It's almost here. And then if you want to late pledge for Root the Marauder, which is the third expansion for Root, it'll be going up in backer kit in a couple weeks.
Amazing.
This is why we can't
Find me
have
at Leader
nice
Games and
things.
Patrick Leader on Twitter.
Thank you, Patrick. And Strash, how about you?
Hey, I'm Strash. I am a designer of role-playing games. You can find Scum and Villainy and Band of Blades. Our publisher is Evil Hat. So if you go to the Evil Hat website, you can get physical copies. If you want digital ones, they're the usual places like Drive-Thru. And you can find me on Twitter at StrashA, STRASA. And I stream. Part of the reason why I knew the Doobly Dads is I stream actual plays of role-playing games, indie role-playing games on twitch.tv/actualplay.
And Strash mentioned two games that he's made. Scum and Villainy and Band of Blades are two amazing RPGs. You should go check them both out. They are really good. Two of the best games have come out in the last few years. So like, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that because you're here. I'm saying that because it's incredibly true. So
It is
Embarrassing me on stream.
what I'm here to do. All right. Okay. All right. Is that everything?
I think
Chris,
so.
do you have anything you want
Do you
to
want to
plug?
plug anything?
No, I'm not on social media and I don't stream. And
Chris just got a new house. Look at his new house behind him. It looks so nice.
Plug
That's
for the
true.
new house. Yeah.
And a new chair. How's your new chair feeling? Is it comfy?
I very much like this new chair. It is.
How is the
Chair
cat
hype.
liking the new house?
The cat is out and about roaming around, and
Oh, good.
she is adjusting quite well.
Out from
Meg-
behind the boiler.
Maggie, do you have
Yes.
anything you want to plug?
I'm packing. I plugged already. I plugged for our own stuff. So
all right.
you know, hang out, watch us on Kickstarter, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.